All right, let's do it. I got in here and I went to as most at the most intricate detail that I possibly can. So let's get into it. So here we have second quarter numbers for our top platform truck. Loaded miles. Now these are build miles. Loaded miles 20,643. Empty miles 10,747. That's a significant number of deadhead miles. Actual miles, odometer miles, 33,842. So the gross revenue that the customer wrote checks for, $119,636, which gives us a gross rate per loaded mile of $5.80. Now, as we all should know by now, the revenue is broken down. Some goes to the tractor, some goes to the trailer. So the tractor got $81,876. The trailer got $6,272. So total revenue, which equates to be 73% of the total, $88,149.38, where actual rate per mile of $4.27, and our actual all miles, $2.81. So here's our fuel cost, 14,000. Fuel cost per mile, 42 cents. Average cost per gallon, $2.90. These come straight from our fuel gauges account. Driver pay, $27,357. Payroll cost, again, we pay on a W-2, $3,000. Dispatch fee, okay. All right, let's talk about this dispatch fee for a second. The dispatch fee is in our accounting because we had a deal set up where we would take a truck from someone and operate it for them, pay all the expenses, and then split the profits. And that 5% dispatch fee is in there. It's baked into our accounting, so I did not take it out. But something that you could do if you were owning your own truck is you could create a little dispatch fee for yourself or maybe for your spouse that could be another W 2 line item, which would reduce your overall taxes. So I did not take this out. It's a completely unnecessary expense, but it's something that's in those original numbers that we talked about. But it's unnecessary for the sake of a single truck owner operator. So just understand that there's a pretty significant expense in here that's not even necessary. Landstar Communication Network is $3.69 a week. If you weren't at Landstar, you had your own authority, you're going to have to pay for broker boards, truck stop, DAT, whatever. That's our version of that. Pre-pass, $2.50 a week. Physical damage on this truck, this is a 2017 International, was $552 for 3 months. ELD airtime is $27 a month. Ad valorem and mileage taxes. These are extra fees that states charge that if you don't know about, you have to figure out how to account for them. Now, these are larger than normal because one of his loads went to Oregon and they charge mileage. It's not paid at the fuel pump like everybody else. Base plates, $995. Now, at Landstar, they charge this $94.44 a week for like 18 weeks. So, we may see this in quarter four and it be zero because it comes out at different parts of the year. Permits, that's just your regular permits. Okay. They charge $11 a week for a certain period of time to get to $200. These are not trip permits. Trip permits are deducted from the revenue before we get paid. So the gross revenue that you see at the top has already had permits for oversized, over width, over dimensional already deducted from that. Com data fees, we pay $1.75 every time we load a fuel card. Transflow is $2 for every load. Settlement tolls, there were none. You'll see these on a Landstar settlement where if your transponder doesn't read and it tags your license plate, or if you're pulling a van and you're pulling a trailer that is not assigned to you, or somebody else is pulling one that is assigned to you, which is why you have to keep up with your trailers uh, to make sure that you're not getting charged for somebody else's tolls. Real maintenance in this 3 months that we spent on the tractor was $340. So our total expenses, again, including this almost $6,000 dispatch fee, was $53,000. Trailer expenses, we had $276 in physical damage insurance and $345 in actual maintenance. So our total trailer expenses, $621. Fleet tracking. Now, this is something that we do that I would recommend anybody has one truck or 1,000. We use Verizon Reveal. It's cloud based, forward facing dash cam and GPS, and it is worth every penny that you spend on it. Works out to be about $20 a week. iPad airtime. We put an iPad in every truck to run the ELD and to do email and all that kind of stuff. It's $22 a month. Best pass tolls. Now these are the tolls that come through the transponder. Our IFTA settlement, we ended up paying $28 for 3 months. Workers' comp, $1,954. Now this truck has 2 drivers assigned to it. Most of the time it's only one driver. His wife is assigned to the truck, but she's probably only run 2 or 3 loads this year. So total other expenses, $2,675.82. Our total cost per mile, taking the total expenses and dividing it by the odometer miles, not just the paid and empty, came to $1.67 for this truck. We would add 25 cents to that. So our net profit, $31,766. Now we would project that there should be $7,847 of maintenance savings there. We used $685 of that, leaving a balance of $7,161.91. If you take the net profit and you add the driver pay, and then what's ever left over in the maintenance balance, we have a net profit of $51,961.45 for this 3-month period, which comes out to be $4,012 per week. Now, on this maintenance thing, I want everybody to understand that I want you saving more maintenance money than you need, because it's maintenance that puts people out of business. The graveyard up at the shop that has all the trucks sitting there, when owner operators came in and broke down and couldn't afford to pay them, so they just walked off and left them. You need to be saving more than what's necessary. Real maintenance costs should be somewhere between 15 and 18 cents. But we need to save more and put it in that rainy day fund for when the bad stuff happens. I didn't say if, I said when. Now let's look at the van. Obviously, the top van was a little bit different because van freight doesn't pay as well, right? So here we go. 30,637 loaded miles, 5,500 empty miles, actual odometer miles, 39,000. Total gross revenue, 98,000. So the gross rate per mile that the customer paid was $3.21. Actual to the truck, 223, and all miles, $1.88. So we have all the same expenses down here. We have the dispatch fee included. We did have some settlement tolls there. Real maintenance was higher. This is a 1999 Freightliner Century that we bought 4 years ago for like $17,000. Trailer expense, we didn't have any because there is no trailer expense when you're pulling a van, a Landstar. Fleet tracking, iPad airtime, that's all the same. $572 in tolls. He runs a lot of loads into the Northeast, so he has a higher toll bill. If the settlement, $380. Workers' comp, $977. So we get down here to the bottom which is really the only thing that matters, and that is $30,247.69, which comes out to be $2,342 per week for the van. So what's the big picture here? Well, obviously the numbers are clear as to why we started moving our fleet over from van to platform. But even at Landstar, a van can still get 321 per mile from the customer, average over 3 months, which in 2025 ain't a bad deal. Here's what I want you to understand that separates us from just about everybody else is it took me maybe 30 minutes to put all these numbers together because we document this stuff daily. It is a daily occurrence so that we are leaving all of these little crumbs along the way so that when it's time to aggregate the data, I can get it to you in minutes. That's the difference between company drivers and owner operators, real business operators. If it's not written down, it didn't happen. So before you start coming to me telling me that you don't think that my numbers are real, let me promise you, they're real and I can produce them in an instant.